there's never the right timing to go public, but that's kind of project that we had in mind since the foundation of our project in 2015. So, I mean, I could have used the famous sentence from the Blues Brothers, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going, but that's not the matter in our case. It's a very thoughtful decision that we took over time. Originally, our plan was to go public much earlier, but then the pandemic and the war in Ukraine obliged us to postpone our program. So here we are.
Well, your company is essentially a portfolio of companies. A number of different brands make up the overall group, and you have a strong international focus. I understand, looking through the prospectus, exporting to over 130 different countries. I imagine that makes you quite vulnerable to things like global supply chain issues and trade tensions, especially given you export to both China, the U.S., and countries across Europe.
Well, actually, we are not much exposed on the supply chain for the reason that almost all of our raw material and components and our suppliers are located in Italy, in the three main furniture and lighting districts that we do have in Italy. So supply side, we are pretty much safe. And as far as our delivery markets are concerned, they say that our sales are pretty much well balanced in terms of different destinations. We do sell almost 25% in Italy, another 26% in European Union, another 25% in North America, and the remaining 25% everywhere in the world. So, I mean, I would say that we are quite balanced and not much vulnerable in this sense.
And to what extent do you think your business is going to be linked to what happens with the housing market? We talk about the housing market in the context of higher interest rates. We see house prices growth begin to slow down. What sort of an impact does it have on a business like yours, which goes hand in hand with people buying new houses?
Well, actually, also in this case, there's not much a correlation, because all of our brands are very high-end players, both in the furniture and in the lighting industry. So very likely our market grew on a steadily basis in the last 20 years, on average plus 4 or 5%. We experienced only a couple of downturns in 2008 because of the financial crisis, and more recently because of the pandemic. But normally our market recovers in 1, maximum 2 years. So there's not much correlation with the real estate industry. Our sales are much more related to how our high wealth individual customers they do plan to refurbish their houses, or for the luxury content part of our business, the big brands in fashion, jewelry, and personal luxury, they plan to open new stores or to refurbish the existing one. So not much correlation with the real estate, actually.
Yeah, and let me ask you about what you're planning on doing with the proceeds raised by the IPO. I know that you've been very agile at building up your portfolio of companies and brands over the last couple of years. Are there plans for further expansion with some of the new proceeds?
Well, definitely yes. That's the reason why we are going public, actually. Our project, as I said, started in 2015, 8 years ago, and since then we bought 10 companies, 1 per year, and a couple of years we bought 2 companies in 1 year. Our program is to keep on doing this path. I mean, in the 8 years, we had a compounding annual growth rate on average of 40%, 30% of which came from M&As, so from addition of new companies, and 10% came from organic growth. The real reason why we go public is just to raise some additional primary capital to at least maintain this growth rate, and therefore going on with, on one side, new acquisitions, and the other side, boosting the growth rate of our existing companies. That's exactly our mission, actually.
How should investors think about your peer group when they're thinking about valuation? It sounds, based on your discussion with us so far, that the company really is a luxury company. So should we think about this as trading in line with the likes of, the luxury brands, LVMH, Hermes, that kind of thing?
It would be fantastic to be compared with LVMH. Actually, we are much, much smaller, of course. It's very hard to find comparables for the reason that the way we build up our group, as far as the model is concerned, yes, we have been marginally inspired by the big luxury, the French big luxury groups. But actually, what we do is that we select only Italian successful companies led by good entrepreneurs. And what makes us unique is that we keep the entrepreneur who sold the company to us at the helm of the staff of his company. Therefore, I mean, we are a sort of a club of entrepreneurs where Italian Design Brands, the mother company, owns the majority stake or our 100% of the equity of each company, but still entrepreneurs are there, and we work a lot with our entrepreneurs. We make them meeting almost on a monthly basis. So, I mean, it's quite unique even when compared to the French luxury group, big luxury groups.